Happy Soulful Saturday! Who's here? Who is with me on the broadcast today? Come on in, y'all. The weather's fine. It's time to get busy. Who's here? Say hello. I see. Okay, here comes people. Yay. Hi, Catherine. I don't know why it keeps telling me to watch it on a bigger screen. Like I want to see myself on a bigger screen. Kathy is in the house. Yay. Hi, Melissa. Come on down. Here come my ladies. Susan's in the house as well. Good to see you. There's our girl, Jenny. And Maria has joined us. Hi, Maria. It's lovely in Georgia. It's lovely here, too. We've got kind of a beautiful day brewing, a little cloudy. Delilah, hello. Hello, Diane. Good to see you. Vanessa, how are you doing? Been praying for you. Hi, Doris. Kristen. Hello. No, somebody gave me a bad, unhappy face. Not happy. That's okay. Christine is here. Doris, yay. We've got the ladies coming in. Hello, Cynthia. Good to see you. Yolanda. It's raining in St. Louis, guys. I'm giving you weather reports as we go. Rebecca and Tina. Hello, hello. Hello, sweet Amy. How are you? You see those pretty flowers? The pink ones? Those are from Amy because she's such a love. Joanne, Flora, good to see you. Jane, I wish you could stop off and see me when you head back to Maryland too, Kathy. That'd be so cool. Hi, Angela. Come on in. Jane from Georgia. Well, here comes everybody. We always get kind of busy on the weekends, don't we? I love that. Hi, Tay. Cool and sunny. Gosh, that's kind of a perfect weather, isn't it? Catherine, hello. Well, it's good to see everybody coming in, and happy Saturday to Saturday to you. You know, my tongue's getting in the way of speaking. It is Soulful Saturday. Soulful Saturday is when we kind of dig in a little bit, and for me, I've just been thinking about the fear factor of everything, and that's what today's thing is about. We're going to talk about the fear that is a stumbling place for a lot of us. And, you know, if we're going to be honest, we all have it. We don't like to talk about it, maybe. We like to ignore it. That's part of the problem with it. But we're going to get in there. We're going to dig in a little bit. But first of all, before we do that, I just want to say welcome. For all of you who have never been here before, my name's Leanne Ely. I'm a nutritionist for over 25 years, a New York Times best-selling author, and I created the first menu planning program on the planet. And Dinner Answers is the name of that program. You can find it on savingdinner.com, which is the name of my website. Obviously, you're here. And I'm just saying thank you to all of you who do support us and give us our impetus to keep going. Our dinner plans come every single week on Tuesdays. However you eat, if you eat real food, we are agnostic. We don't care how you eat as long as you're eating real food. We're going to steer you away from processed foods and into the real thing. And you can find that out on, again, like I said, savingdinner.com. It's a $7 a month program. That's it. We've lowered the price on that because we want to support you and we're asking for your support in return. This pandemic has not been kind to us, and we're trying to build that part of our business right back up. So thank you to all of you who have begun supporting us with our Dinner Answers plan. You can find it on savingdinner.com. Today is Saturday. You know what Saturday means? Saturday means we have a new quote. And you know what I did? I flipped my camera so that it's going to be good, right? I flipped my camera. And take a look at this. Wow, I keep getting all these messages from Facebook. I'm getting messages from Facebook. Look, everything you've ever wanted is on the other side of fear, from Georgia Dare. Everything you've ever wanted. Do you know what I like about this quote? It's telling you the truth, because we get wrapped up in all of our fear and we don't ever look beyond it, because that fear is our obstacle and it holds us back. So what I want to do right now is look beyond the fear and look at it inquisitively for one, and two, from the other side of it, of unplugging that emotion of fear, unplugging it for a minute and just taking a look at it from the opportunity to see, what is this thing really all about? That's what we're going to do with this today. And this quote is what really inspired me to do this. And I also have to say, I'm having, this is my second quarter for a lot of my new Take Back Your Life coaching clients. And I'm finding these to be so inspirational, these sessions to be so inspirational, to watch my coaching clients go to the next level has been incredibly inspiring for me. And I'm the only thing, and my coaching client sessions are extraordinarily private. We keep it that way. But I want to also just talk them up a little bit, because they are doing the work to get beyond, where they were stuck before. And it's so inspiring to see. And it's getting beyond the fear factor. Speaking of which, look at Emily. And I told Emily she needs to change her picture because she looks like a completely different woman. So when I see these women who come to me and saying, hey, I need some help with this, and I get to coach them, you know what I see? I see opportunity for them to really dig into who they are and become all they need to be. And a lot of times for so many of us, it's not really about the weight. It's not really about all these other kind of things. You know what it is? It's about understanding that our fear is the thing that's held us back. Our fear is the thing that has taken us to the place of eating to soothe ourselves and doing things that are not in our best interests, and doing things that keep us absolutely locked in to a pattern and a lifestyle that doesn't serve us at all. So we're going to talk just a little bit about that, because I believe if we can get past the fear, we can start getting past all the things that have held us back from having the healthy, vibrant life that we all want to live. Because that's what we want, right? Nobody here, I don't believe one woman in my community is saying, hey, no, I want to be a bikini model. It's not about that. It's about having a vibrant, healthy life. It's about not being held back. It's about becoming all that you're meant to be. It's about getting rid of the obstacles that are in your life. And fear is the biggest one. Fear is the thing that holds us back. We get all wound up in our fear. All of us do. And I don't want you to ever doubt yourself for a minute. I don't want you to ever think to yourself, well, it's me. I'm just a mess. I can't do this. I'm beyond hope. I'm too old. I've always done it this way. All of these things, those are all fear factors that are driving that. That's all fear driving that. And if we can get beyond that, we can drop it. We can drop it like it's hot. And we can start filling those gaps with stuff that really does work. That's what we're going to work on today. And I want you to take notes, seriously, because I find this stuff lit me up, because as I was thinking about the things that hold me back, I am your basic human, just like you are. And I'm the guinea pig. I use myself as the guinea pig for all the stuff that I bring to my programs. And that's what I have found, is that what is this big thing that's holding us back? Fear. It's fear-based. And fear is the opposite of love. It's not hate, it's fear. We get scared. We become hand-wringers. We talk about the hand-wringing department. We don't want to be there. If we're in the place of hand-wringing, we're not in the place of solving issues. We're not in the place of moving forward. We're stuck. You think about what a hand-wringer looks like, and they're just sitting there like this. They're all bunched up, and they're not open. They're not moving. There's no movement at all. It's just stuck. It's like a wound up ball of twine. Worse, it's knots, and it's just these horrible thoughts that trap us and keep us captive. Worse, keep us hostages to our own lives. And it doesn't have to be that way. And that's the thing I want everyone to see. There's no such thing as I'm too old. There's no such thing. If you're still living and breathing on this planet, there's still hope. For heaven's sakes, of course there is. There is still opportunity for you to have the vibrant life you want to have. It isn't just about a pair of size 6 jeans. It's never going to be about that. It's about having the life you want. And we have to look at the vibrancy of your life. Is it there? If it's not there, what's holding you back? You know, and most often it's fear. I can't get beyond that. So let's look at that. We also have ships free. We always have a product that allow you to have something that will give you free shipping. Okay. And this week it's L-glutamine. I love this stuff. L-glutamine helps with cravings, knocks them out. You simply take a clean finger, put it in your water, put this L-glutamine, which I have right here, on your teeth, on your gums, and it hits that area of the brain that causes issues. And I learned this from an addiction specialist who is an MD, and she does this with her addicted clients. Any kind of addiction, food, booze, drugs, it's going to knock it out. It's a physiology thing. This is how our biologies work. You know, we got to work with our physiology. We got to work with our mindset. This works with the physiology, and it's that intense. It also helps to heal your gut. And when you consider 70% of your immune system lives in your gut, you got to look at that. Because if we can heal up that leaky gut, we can start doing some good stuff in there. There's so much going on in your body that you don't even know is happening. You know, I've talked about this before with all of my clients, that inside of your gut, there's a war going on. You've got the good guys and you've got the bad guys. We want to feed the good guys. We want to seal up the walls. You know, we want to make sure that things are good and tight in there. When that's happening, then you're winning the war. And we need to win the war. And let me just say this. It's a battle. It's a battle. Every single day, it's a battle. So if you can get into the battlefield and just say, okay, I'm bringing in the fresh troops, you're going to win it. Probiotics, yes, get those, have those, take them at night before you go to bed. When I take mine, you know what I always say? I'm adding new fresh troops to go battle the evil ones in my gut, because you have good bacteria, you have bad bacteria. Who's going to win? I want the good guys to win. Probiotic every single night before I go to bed. My L-glutamine once a day, and we're working on it. It is always, it's a battle. Always. The war is won at the end, but we do these things to keep our healthy guts. Okay? Yes, go healthy gut, go. And if you spend $200 in your shop, I'll send you a mindful mug for free and a little note from me. I always send these little notes. This is what the little note card looks like. And say thank you. You know, you inspire me every single day. You all inspire me. This is how a community works. This is how a community works, you know? Inspiration, encouragement, and support. And we do that together. By the way, we are going to be going into the other place, having a new sprint starting May 8th, I think it is. Correct me if I'm wrong. But it's on our savingdinner.com page. You can get it. It's absolutely free, and it'll change the way you look at food from now on. Won't it? I have so many ladies here who are my sprinters, and they do such a good job with it. Friday is Q&A. So if you send in a question to me and you have a nutrition question, a cooking question, whatever it is, I will answer it right here on Friday at our Q&A time. All you have to do is send an email into support@savingdinner.com, and in the subject line, put question for Leanne on Friday. Okay, see, there it is, May 4th, not May 8th, sorry. May 4th. May 8th is when they're going to let us out here in North Carolina. May 4th is when we start the sprint. And I don't know if I'm going to get out by then or not. I have my own opinions of all of that. Is it safe? I don't know. All right, so there you go. And don't forget, we have vanilla in the shop. If you have Perfect Paleo Protein and you want some more vanilla, it's there. Grab it while we have it. Everything, if you want to order products, all you have to do is go to savingdinner.com, and right on the right-hand top, at the very top there, you are going to see the shopping section. Just click on that and it'll take you to the supplement page. You can read all about it. I always put information, I keep it short and sweet, but there's information on why we have that product in there with the research behind it, because that is why that stuff isn't there in the first place, right? We do our research around here. So there you go. I've given you all the stuff. Today at 4 o'clock, guess what I'm cooking? Guess. 4 p.m. every day I do a cooking lesson. Today, I'm going to show you how to make seafood chowder without a recipe. You're going to want to be there for that because it's so good. I make this all the time. Yes, Diane, your order did ship. It did. I saw you put it in and I saw it go out. I watch these things. I watch all of these things because every single one of you who places an order, I bless you, each one of you, and say thank you because you mean everything to me. And, the fact that you guys are here and a part of my world, I'd never take that for granted, ever. So thank you. And also for all the people who share these videos, we appreciate it. You are amazing and fabulous. We're talking about fear today, though. Fear and getting past that place of being frozen and bound up and thinking that there's just no hope, that it's all too late and whatever the thing is. Fear is a thing that we all have. Let's just look at this, you guys. Let's just look at how on the world can we not have, how can we not have fear in our lives? Really? We all have fear in our lives. How can we get past it though? And I just think that fear is a progressive thing. We have fear, maybe we have a great big fear of this, but something else will always come and take its place. Fear of failure, fear of success, fear of flying, fear of, not having enough food, fear of being hungry. I've heard it all. We all have it. We all live it. But the fact is that if we confront it, we can start taking care of it. And I've got 6 things that are going to help you with this because I'm acknowledging my own fear and dealing with my own stuff. I use a journal for this. I use meditation practice for this. I use prayer for this because fear doesn't have to rule. It just needs to be confronted. That's where we have to start. And that's number 1, confront the fear. We always need to acknowledge how we feel about something. Just because we feel a certain way does not mean that we need to wallow in it. We are not pigs wallowing in mud, ladies. We're not. We're women. We're intelligent human beings with the absolute capability to have abstract thinking and to look at a problem and fear is a problem, right? To look at a problem and attack it and say, you know what? Something's not right here. Something's amiss. What do I need to do to fix this? And that's what I say. When I say unplug from the emotion, I'm saying don't get wrapped up in the emotion of it. You are going to have some emotion attached to it. It's just normal. But that doesn't mean that you have to live there. It just means you need to acknowledge it. Once it's acknowledged, move past that and into the place, okay, so now what do I do? And that's how we move through a problem, process it, appreciate the processing of it, right? Everything is a process. Everything is a journey. And we always want to get boom right here to the absolute, destination. We want it fixed and we want it fixed like that. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way with anything. Everything has to have a process. How fast is it going to go? It depends. It's all different. Have you ever heard of women who basically have babies, the next thing you know, oh my gosh, here comes that baby, and oh my gosh, I didn't even make it to the hospital. I gave birth, in the car, or I gave birth downstairs in my kitchen. It's not that they didn't have the process. It just went fast. We all have the process to have that baby. For some of us, it takes longer, And for us to sit there and compare and say, gosh, I wish I had it like that and I wish it was that much easier, that's using energy that you just really should be putting toward your own problem and toward your own fear factor and dealing with it. And I'm using that, of course, as an example, this whole having a baby thing. But again, most of us have to process these things. We have to have that long labor before we get that long delivery, before we get finally to the place of delivery and having that baby in our arms. It takes a minute. Acknowledge the fear, but don't wallow in it. Number 2, if we can understand our brain, we can understand that our brain is always seeking for ways to keep us safe. And sometimes, because fear is such an old entrenched thing and such an old thing that we've learned since we were young, sometimes that's, even though that fear is there, it's comfortable for your brain because it's a known quantity. So understand that at times you have to look at that and say, well, my brain's trying to keep me safe, but that's not where I want to go. I want to do this instead. And this is where your journal really comes in so critically important. This is where your accountability partner comes in. If you have a body clutter buddy, like I strongly suggest when you're trying to lose weight or make any kind of change, having that accountability partner really helps because you have somebody to really talk to about this stuff. And also you can look at it from the perspective of, if I did this, what would that be like instead? Looking at things from a 30-page, 30-foot view and looking down on it instead of rolling around in it is such a different perspective, which is one of our things too. And number 4 is to change your perspective. Just what I said, change your perspective. You can do that. You can change your perspective. I've given you the example before of when Mark and I were standing outside on our balcony. We have a big balcony overlooking the whole valley here. It's just so beautiful. All these rolling hills and the Blue Ridge Mountains and everything. We've got all of this gloriousness. And because we live up here kind of remotely in just surrounded by nature, we get these beautiful big pileated woodpeckers. Have you ever seen them? We call them the big woody woodpeckers. They're like 18 inches tall. And they're rare, but around here, they're pretty common because, they've got plenty of places to live. And you hear them bop, 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 bop on the trees. And it's really loud because it's a big woodpecker. And it's also, they have this jungle call that's bop, 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 kind of like, well, sorry, you guys, I'm not a very good pileated woodpecker sounder, but it makes that big call. And one day they were right out here. And I'm telling Mark, standing out on the thing, look, there he is, there he is. He couldn't see it. And I kept saying, why can't you see it? And then I said, well, move to where I am. So he moved exactly to where I was and saw it. And I said, right at 12 o'clock, and he saw the woodpecker. Why couldn't he see it before? He couldn't see it before because where he was standing, he had a tree blocking him. So sometimes you have to move. Your perspective changes when you move. You can see things you didn't see before. Do you see where I'm going with all of this? If you don't see what you need to see, then move a minute. Move a little bit over and see what is going on here. And that's what I mean when I say when we unplug from the emotion, we can start to see things that we didn't see before. If we move and just change our perspective ever so slightly, we can start to see things that maybe we're never going to see otherwise. Start asking questions. Well, what if this were so? What if this were different? What if I got onto that airplane and just took a breather, brought a really good book, had a meditative moment before I got on that plane? What if I started to think of it in those terms? Or if food, for example, and I've coached so many women who have this fear of being hungry. And how about asking this question? What if I did get hungry? If I got hungry, is that going to be the end of the world? Am I just going to pass out? Am I going to just fall over and faint from being hungry? Or is it going to just be uncomfortable for a minute? What's that going to look like? When we start to ask ourselves questions, instead of staying in the fear of being hungry, we start to look at the what if situation. I love what if questions because they change and they challenge the fear. And that's important. Number 5 is what you focus on expands. So what are you focusing on? I ask you that all the time. What are you focusing on? And why do you want to focus on the very thing that you don't want? Isn't it crazy how we do that? But we do. We look at the things that we don't want, and that's where we sit there and we do the hand wringing. So instead, if we unplug from it and we say, okay, come on, stop it just for a minute. This is no longer working for me. It doesn't serve me. All it does is underscore the things I don't want in my life. This isn't for me. I'm going to do this instead. This is where we get out the paper and pencil and we write the pro-con list. If I sit there and think about all of these things, what am I going to get out of it? And for a lot of us, it is a lot of energy going nowhere. It's being in the stuck place. It's not making any progress whatsoever in the things that you want in your life. On the other hand, when you start to write out the what if situations and you start to write out all the things that could happen, you start to see that it's just kind of a bogus fear that just has absolutely no reason to be in your life at all. It doesn't. It honestly does not. And that is liberating. That gives you a whole new perspective, a whole new thing to focus on, and it gives you freedom from this stupid fear factor that you had that is no longer serving you. Fears are old beliefs. And sometimes these old beliefs are just beliefs that are untrue and don't work anymore. And that you were set up for you early on in childhood. And here you are, a grown woman. That doesn't work anymore. So let it go and swap it out for an affirmation that does serve you. I am glorious. I am powerful. I'm not pitiful. I don't live in fear. I live in power. Swap it out. And the sixth thing that I have for you is, Rebecca, bless your heart. Bless your heart. You're 72 and you're working it, sister. You are here, and that's why I love you so much, Rebecca. Thank you for being here. Number 6 is just to freaking do something, ladies. Do something. I'm going to tell you something so important. When we get frozen in fear, what does frozen look like? Frozen is unmovable. It's cold, it's shut down. It's not breathing and moving. When we do something, we break the ice. Got it? You start to move in the direction of what it is that you want. Now, for example, here's a really good example. This is something that I do with myself. I play this game with myself all the time. When you don't want to do something, for example, you don't want to say, you don't want to exercise, or you don't want to eat right, or you don't want to drink your water, or whatever. If you say to yourself, I'm just going to do this one thing. So, example, 4-minute exercise. This is something I recommend all the time. 4-minute exercise is amazing and does all kinds of things for your body. You can find Zach Bush MD's 4-minute exercise on YouTube. Just use the search engine window on YouTube to find it, right? Go watch it. And there's times I've got that as a habit every single morning. I start my coffee, I unload the dishwasher, I drink a huge glass of water, and before I can have that coffee, I need to do the 4-minute exercise. I find myself playing with going back and forth on that and saying, I just don't want to do it. But you know what I do? Instead of saying, I'm not going to do it, I don't want to do it, pushing it back, which I think is part of the fear thing too, of just wanting to stay the same. And your brain is always saying, I want you to stay the same, right? I want you to stay where you are. Don't do anything. Don't change anything. It takes a lot of energy to move your brain into the way that you want to go. It does. And so if you do something instead, if you just say and negotiate, instead of negotiating with yourself, because, really, you're a big hostage holder, right? And you're not the benevolent dictator that you think you are with your brain. You're not. Your brain is always going to try to hold you captive. So instead, you just say, okay, brain, listen, I'm just going to do one set. And that's what I do with myself. I'm just going to do one set. There's 3 sets that are involved in the 4-minute workout. And I just say, if I just do one set, then I can sit down and have my coffee, because I cannot wait for my coffee. It's part of my favorite part of the morning. So I do the one set, and guess what happens? You've guessed it. I do all 3. That's how we move. That's how we get past those obstacles that hold us back. That's how we get past fear or any kind of immobility, any kind of obstacle. We just do one little bit of it. If we just do a tiny part of it. There's a book by B.J. Boggs, I believe is his last name, called Tiny Habits. And it's lovely because all he's saying is just do this little part of it. If you just do a little bit of it, then it's suddenly interesting how the whole thing works out. I used to do this with myself when we were able to get out of the house with the gym. I would get dressed to my gym clothes every single morning and get everything ready, and I'd set an appointment and go out the door. Now, have I successfully done this at home? I have not. But it's the same principle, and I'm working on that right now. That's my working thing that I'm doing right now. Now, that's not fear. It's just part of my whole obstacle. But obstacles oftentimes are based in fear. So go forward. Just do one little teeny weeny bit, and that is going to make things move along. Isn't it fun how that works? So ladies, I just want to say to you, it is Soulful Saturday, and we are soulful women, and we're also wise women, and we take these principles and we put them into play. I want you to take something from this today, and I want you to share this with your community and say, this is what I'm going to do to get over my fear, and then name it. This is how we get past ourselves and grow our community. And I'm going to tell you one other thing, that communities have encouragement, support, and a tribal component that we all need, especially now. We might be isolated, but we don't have to be alone. We can be as connected as we want to be. And that's why I love our Sprint community. Go find out about the Sprint at savingdinner.com. It's right there as soon as you check in to the site. If you need supplements, remember, I've got them there. You just got to start getting them in. Order those supplements and get them in. And we are running skinny right now, but we are getting them in. I promise you, we are getting them in. And I also have to say to you this, that if you are lacking support, if you are needing community, if you are feeling alone, it's not because you are intentionally like that. It's because you haven't reached out yet. Join our Sprint community, because I promise you, you're never going to see a more beautiful group of women who support, encourage, and connect with each other every single day. And we do this with the Sprint. And the Sprint is just a way of getting rid of the inflammation and just resetting ourselves every single month. We all need it. You know, we're eating for comfort right now. We're doing things that maybe aren't the very best things for ourselves right now. It's a tough time. And I'm not going to say it's not. But I will tell you this, that if you give yourself a whole lot of grace and you surround yourself with the people who are going to hold you up and give you the support and encouragement that you need, you're going to get far and you're going to feel connected. I don't want you to feel isolated. I want you to feel connected. And that's why I'm inviting you into this community. So go to savingdinner.com. It's all free. Just get the Sprint and away you go. I suggest you print it off, underline it, read it a few times, and then come into the group, the Facebook group, and we will be there to support you. Lynn says, yes, so perfect, especially right now. And Amy, I'm so proud of you for wanting to conquer your fear. We all do. So let's be a sisterhood. Pinkies up, ladies. We are a sisterhood. We're wise women. We understand that we need each other, and we understand that we can get beyond the fear. Yes, we can, because we are those wise women, right? Am I right? I know it. Peace out, guys. I love you all. Thank you so much for your support. And join me at 4 p.m. Eastern today in the kitchen, where we're going to make seafood chowder without a recipe. You are going to love it. Bless you, Joanne. Thank you so much. I'm glad you appreciate the messages. You guys are the best. Love you all. Bye. Pinkies up.